Today we're here at one of our favourite parks, Disney's Hollywood Studios. We're going to explore the galaxy, we're going to hang out with Andy's toys, and maybe even enter the Twilight Zone. Let's go! And we have made it into Hollywood Studios. We're currently walking on Hollywood Boulevard, one of the iconic spots in this park. Now we have a bit of a decision to make. Of course, usually we would go straight to Rise of Resistance because we're not going to be buying any lightning passes today. Got slightly sidetracked just there. We saw some ducklings being walked across the path by their mum.
That's the only thing that'll stop people rushing to Rise. Everyone stopped to look at the ducklings.
It's so cute. So we have to line up for all of the rides, and I think the shortest amount of time you will ever line up for Rise of Resistance is usually in the morning. Having said that, it's currently closed, and this is exactly what happened last time we were here. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up there.
I think it's a bit of a daily tradition for Rise, isn't it?
I think it might be. So do we do what we did last year, which is go straight to Rise anyway, and could potentially line up for like 2 hours before it opens? Or do we go to a different ride? What are we doing?
I think we risk Rise.
Alright, let's head to a galaxy far, far away. And we definitely aren't the only ones heading to Rise first up this morning. It's no surprise either. It's probably one of, if not the most popular ride in Hollywood Studios, and for good reason. It is an incredible ride. Such modern technology. So fingers crossed we get on it today, because that is a ride worth coming all the way to Orlando for. Or LA, because it is in LA. We are officially off planet, and as you can see behind me, it is not open. They're not even letting people line up. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? I'm probably leaning more towards bad sign. However, maybe we'll hang around this area, because if they do open it up, maybe we'll be one of the first people on Rise of Resistance this morning. I've said it before, I'm sure I'll say it again, but Galaxy's Edge and the land of Batuu is one of the coolest themed lands we've ever been to. There are so many little details that you might not spot the first time you come, like the robot footprints in the ground, even the trash cans are themed. You can get the soft drink like Coca-Cola, that's Star Wars themed. We got that when we were in Galaxy's Edge in LA. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it up there. It tastes better when it's themed like Star Wars. And in the classic Disney way, the theming doesn't stop with props and like visual theming, I suppose. A really special way that Disney brings you into a galaxy far, far away and other lands as well is through sound effects. Like if I'm quiet for 1 second, which doesn't happen often. Do you hear that? It's an alien landscape. I'm sure those are alien birds, and it's just like that droney. Stacey says I shouldn't call them aliens because in Star Wars they're not aliens, but for me they're aliens because they're not from Earth. But it's like that outer spacey, otherworldly, drone-like sounds. I just realized that I referred to the footprints as robot footprints. Apologies, droid footprints. Now's probably a time to say that I'm not pretending to be a massive Star Wars fan. I have to see a lot of the movies, but I do appreciate the theming in this area. And you know what, if I get anything else wrong, hit me up down in the comments. I deserve it. Tell me if I've said something wrong. And one of the coolest places here on Batuu is this marketplace area. Walking through the archway now. But there's stalls, a lot of props. I think you can buy merchandise and like kind of Star Wars robe type things. They probably don't call them robes in the movies. Cloaks. And I know that this is a really unusual thing to comment on, but I have to say it because it's so good. Disney really go all out in all aspects of their theming, including in the bathrooms. I went to the bathroom and it was very space-like feeling, very metallic feel, and it really just adds to the experience of truly feeling like you're in a galaxy far, far away. And this marketplace is one of my favorite places to be in Batuu. And if we continue walking, we're gonna be led out to the Millennium Falcon. How cool is that? And they don't only have the Millennium Falcon here in Batuu, they also have an Empire ship, is that how you say it? And the bad guy ship, as well as a lot of little ships that belong to the Rebellion. We just got really lucky and we actually saw the Mandalorian and little baby Grogu. I don't believe there's a time schedule for them to appear. It just kind of happens and then you kind of gather around and Mando will choose who gets to go up and take a picture with him. But it's so cute. Grogu actually like moves and smiles. It's very impressive. Alright, it's about 20 past 9, so just under an hour of waiting for Rise. And we're going to give up for now, mostly because the cast members are saying that they expect us to be at least a few hours for it to become up and running. So that's okay. We'll be back. But for now, we're going to head over to Andy's backyard, and maybe, if we're lucky, we'll get on Toy Story Mania.
The Festive one, you're going to lose. I'm ready to go. Great game. Great game. My life's pain right now. I may have lost Toy Story Mania, but the day will go on. I know I'll win next time. My arm is really sore though. But Toy Story Mania was good as always. We got a little stuck at the end as we were about to get off, but we're off now. I think we're going to head to Tower of Terror. Unfortunately, the Rise update is that it is still temporarily closed, so it doesn't look like we're getting on that anytime soon, but hopefully some point today, come on.
A little fun fact for you guys. Me and Stace were actually so afraid of the Tower of Terror on our first trip to Walt Disney World that we didn't go on it at all. But now it's one of our favourite rides, so let's do it. Well, that was terrifying as usual, but 100% worth going on. And I'm hoping that we can get on it again later because it's definitely become Stace and I's probably favourite ride.
Yep.
Yeah. Sore throat from screaming though.
After exploring the park for about 3 hours now, we're a bit thirsty, so we're going to head into one of the coolest spots here in Hollywood Studios, Ogre's Cantina, right here in Galaxy's Edge, and get a bit of an interesting drink.
I hear that the drinks that they serve are truly out of this world.
We've now made it inside Ogre's Cantina. This is such a cool spot here in Galaxy's Edge. It's music pumping with the droid DJ playing. It's really cool. A lot of standing room, a lot of really cool drinks. Okay, I got the Hyperdrive, which is Powerade, Mountain Berry Blast, Sprite, white cranberry juice, and black cherry puree. Non-alcoholic one.
My carbon freeze isn't carbonated today. It's not bubbly. I asked the question. She originally said that it's because Ogre's carbon had run out, but it's actually due to a safety reason. Apparently the dry ice machine hasn't been safe for the last 2 months, so they haven't been doing the dry ice. Unfortunately, it's not as fun, but just as delicious. I miss that carbon.
Guys, some stormtroopers just came into the cantina looking for any signs of resistance activity. Just a bit nervous for a few minutes. We're part of the resistance, but they've left now, so we're all good. Okay, we finished up in Ogre's. It's such a cool atmosphere in there. It's definitely something you should try at least once if you do come to Hollywood Studios. We apologise if it was hard to hear us. It's very loud in there with the droid DJ mixing it up, but we are now looking for our next thing to do. It's about 1:45 now. Rise of the Resistance still has not opened today, which is a bit disappointing, but hopefully it'll open up some point this afternoon and we can get on that. But there's still plenty of rides we have not ridden. We haven't had a snack yet or something to eat here in the parks, and we've got a few favourite snacks here, so that might be next on the agenda, but we'll see how we go.
And just one more thing about Ogre's Cantina that I think is worth mentioning. There's not a lot of seats available, so both times that Stace and I have been, we've been put in the standing area at the bar, which is fine for us. But if you do have mobility issues, it is just something to keep in mind, because it can get very, very busy and the seats are very limited. It does not seem like Rise is opening anytime soon. We spent a few good minutes at the front of it, crossing our fingers, but not to be. So what we've decided to do is walk over back to Toy Story Land because we're going to grab lunch at a place we've been to pretty much every time we come to Hollywood Studios. It's one of our favourite things to eat in all of Walt Disney World. But while we walk there, I think that now's a good time for me to say that if you're new around here, hello. My name is Roisin. A lot of people call me Rosh. This is Stace. And we're travelling the world for a full year. It's been just over 5 months so far. We've been to Singapore. We spent almost 4 months in Europe. We then went to Canada. And now, as you can tell, we're in Disney World. and we've still got a lot to go. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, just enjoying our day here at Hollywood Studios. Like the area of Batu, Toy Story Land's theming isn't limited to what you can see in front of you and around you, above you, it's also beneath you. And if you look closely, you'll find Andy's footprints, these huge footprints on the ground, and that's because we are the size of a toy. We've been shrunken down. She's a tiny little human. And it just makes that feeling a bit more believable.
My absolute favourite things to eat here in Disney's Hollywood Studios and all of Walt Disney World is Totchos. You get these here in Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land. It's essentially nachos but with potato barrels or potato gems depending on what you call them. We love this. You can get plant-based versions, so Rosh has the plant-based version, I have the regular version. Potato barrels, chili, corn chips, some beans, cheese, sour cream. It's delicious. So good.
What's this? Are we at the front of the line? Rise of Resistance is finally open. I think we're going to be the guinea pigs.
I think we've spent about 3 hours dancing this.
Incoming transmission from Ray. BB-8, is everyone assembled? Recruits, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this system. We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara. I'll regroup with you there. Lieutenant Beck, one of our top commanders, will lead you. Welcome to the cause. May the Force be with us.
We're about to get on the ship.
Thank you, Nina. Black Leader, are you and your team ready? Affirmative. Engines are on. Raise the shields.
This ship is now under the command of the First Order.
Guys, we've been captured by the First Order. We're about to go into our prison cells. I don't know what's going to happen.
You chose the wrong side, and now you will pay.
You have what I want.
Tyler just totally took control of the We're being rescued by the Resistance.
I can't believe we're on. We'll probably get stuck, but at least we're on.
Droids are programmed to return to Batu.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, those are the prisoners.
If anyone's back in laughter, now's a good time.
The rest of the Resistance has come to save us.
Tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will destroy you and the Resistance.
Wow. That's not a ride. That is a full-on immersive experience. Again.
Never mind.
It could drop later. You never know. You never know.
That is just hands down one of my all-time favourite rides. I've never been on such an immersive ride from start to finish in the pre-show rooms. There are like multiple pre-show rooms. There's this massive room.
This room is incredible.
This has to be the biggest room that is just like decorative for a ride. That is not even like technically part of the ride, and yet it's so big. They invested so much into it. Just such a good ride. The animatronics, just a really good use of multiple different ride systems. I just love it, and I'm so glad we were hovering all day around the entrance to Rise of Resistance, because as we showed, it's now a 105-minute wait and it's just going to keep going up.
It'd be worth waiting. Like literally, it'd be worth waiting 3 hours for that ride.
Yeah, it's one of the very few rides that I would wait any amount of time for, but luckily we were first in line.
What I would say as well is that I think it's like one of the only rides I've ever been on that I think literally anyone could go on. Like, it's not super scary. You don't get heaps of motion sickness.
It's like thrill enough though, it's not boring.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a Star Wars fan or know a lot about Star Wars for example. I will also say, how good would a Marvel ride like that be? Like all of the characters, you could go into space as well with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That is something, I'd put my money towards. I'll fund, no, I mean, I can't fund it. I will donate dollars.
It's news to me.
I know that this park is obviously themed towards Hollywood in LA, but walking down Sunset Boulevard makes me feel like I'm in Shrek 2 when they arrive into Far, Far Away Land and Donkey looks at the palm trees and he's like, wow. What? And immediately the song that comes to mind is do 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 do. You know what I mean? Not just me, right? Do 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 do. Funky town. Guys, things are about to get interesting to say the least. Stace is going because she's gonna go feed and walk the dog. I can't drive and there's no point us both going, right? Stace offered. She told me because we spent so long waiting for rides to finally open, she told me to stay and see what I can film while I'm here by myself and what I can ride by myself because now I'm a single rider, baby.
Let's see if hanging out with me at the parks is actually a liability. And maybe Rosh will go solo from now on. Maybe I'm out of the picture.
See, let us know down below after the Rosh segment. What do you prefer? Rosh and Stace? Or just Rosh?
I'll see you later.
Bye, say hi to Harley for me. Bye! Alright, first single rider ride is the Rock and Rollercoaster, which works out well because Stace thinks that it gives her a concussion these days, so it's just going to be me. No idea how long it's going to take. They said they don't know, so fingers crossed it's worth it. Well, I did it. That's one ride done without Stace. Was it worth it? Absolutely not. My brain is so rattled. I'm so glad that she didn't go on that, but it's done. Tick, off to the next one. I'm thinking we head back into Bar 2. Maybe I can give Smugglers a run a go. And of course, because the festive season is upon us, Hollywood Studios is decked out in Christmas decorations. You can see the dinosaur behind me has a Santa hat on it, similar to the dinosaur that I saw in Dinoland in Animal Kingdom, but it doesn't end there. There's a massive tree, decorations all throughout the park. It's very festive and it just makes you feel happy. One of the issues with Stace leaving me alone in the park is that I'm a real follower, I'm not a leader. She is in charge of maps. I mean, she is the COO after all, Chief Organisation Officer, so not very efficient. I'm kind of wandering all over the place, not knowing exactly the best way to get to places. The benefit to that though is that we're taking the real scenic route. I'm going to really show you the ins and outs of Hollywood Studios. Right behind me we have Sci-Fi Dine-In, and last time we were here we actually ate in there. If you'd like to see that, click that video up there. But it was a really cool experience. It's like you sit in old cars and watch a movie on the projection. Guys, I did it. I made it back to the world of Batu with no help at all. I didn't even have to look at the map. No biggie. Alright, we're in single rider. Time to ride the Millennium Falcon. Probably going to be an engineer. Press some buttons. Save the world. Well, that was awesome. I literally walked straight onto the ride and I had a really awesome family too. They were so funny. And I mean, it was a bumpy ride, but lots of fun. And now I don't think Stace is far away. But what I did realise was she left me with the credit card. So I'm going to go and see what I can buy before she gets here. Got myself a sneaky little peppermint mocha from Joffrey's seasonal offering. The bad news is somebody turned up as I was in line. She's back!
Give me my credit card back. So now, first ride back, let's head on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Welcome aboard, folks.
Now, let's
I dare you to try and find me someone that has been on that ride and did not like it. They don't exist. It is an amazing ride. In fact, the people right next to us on the ride, the guy, maybe my age, a little bit older, said that was amazing. And he's not wrong.
What a banger of a song as well.
Nothing can stop us now.
Now we've got one more must-do ride here at Hollywood Studios, Slinky Dog Dash. It has been probably about a 2-hour wait the entire day, and that's no surprise with Rise of the Resistance down, which is the other most popular ride here at Hollywood Studios. And it's about an hour and a half now, so we've decided it's at 6 PM. I think it's time we just hop in the line, wait an hour and a half, hopefully it's a bit shorter, and and tick off that final must-do ride on our list.
And we get to ride it in the best time, at night. It's completely dark. Toy Story Land is lit up with like little Christmas tree fairy lights. I think this is the best time of day to ride Slinky Dog Dash.
Slinky Dog is another one of those rides that I think is the perfect mix between thrill and family fun. It's just, and who doesn't love Toy Story? I mean, come on, the theming is incredible. It goes just fast enough to make it thrilling, but not so fast that you have to really get yourself worked up for it. It's one of our personal favorites, and we do love riding it at night. Okay, it's pretty dark now, pretty late. We're gonna try and do one more ride before we go and watch Fantasmic to finish off our night. And there's one ride that we waited almost all day to ride, and we're gonna try and ride it one more time.
This ship is now under the command of the First Order. Disembark and proceed to interrogation.
Well, take 2 of Rise of Resistance today definitely did not go as smoothly as the first time, even though we waited probably around 3 hours for the first one. Many things were not working, but still really glad we got to do it twice. I will say though that it is a totally different experience when all of the tricks and effects aren't working. When they are working, incredible. Well guys, after what's been a pretty much perfect day here at Hollywood Studios, we have one more thing to do before we call it a night. That's completely new to us. It is the Fantasmic show. We've never seen it before at Walt Disney World. We have seen it, I think, when we went to Tokyo Disney. And if you want to see those videos, they're very, very old vlogs, don't judge. We'll link them up there. But I'm very excited to see Walt Disney's version and what Mickey has to offer. And as we're walking towards Fantasmic on Sunset Boulevard, there's a projection light show on the Tower of Terror, and it just started snowing as well. Not sure how well it is turning up on the camera, but it really is festive, and we've never had a white Christmas together. I think this is as close as it's going to get, unless we're going somewhere where we could potentially have a white Christmas this year. I guess you'll have to subscribe to find out.
The perfect way to end our day here at Hollywood Studios. Fantasmic was absolutely incredible. We had a bit of a false start to begin with. Someone missed their cue. Mickey missed his cue, but we started again a few minutes later and it was absolutely incredible. We've had such a good day here today, and we're very sad that our Walt Disney World adventures have come to an end. We hope you enjoyed these videos. We absolutely loved making them, but in just a few days we're off to our next destination in the USA, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in our next video.